Hello and welcome to another episode of Film Freakz with a Z, the podcast all about movies with a Z. That's right. Every episode is about or is a review of one singular movie, and of course we'll get the announcement for the movie today a little bit later. But first, I just want to say if you want to enter into the fan vote, make sure you recommend a movie. The fan vote will take place next episode. We have 4 fresh movies to vote on, so watch out for that in 2 weeks when that goes up on my Twitter account. If you want to get your movie into the vote, all you gotta do is comment on the latest episode of Film Freaks with a Z, or send us an email at ff.filmfreakswithaz@gmail.com. Alright, before we introduce the movie, let's introduce ourselves. I am Yemmy the Ferret, and I've been here. I am here with
Greedy Waffle.
Jay Mason.
And Coco Gamer.
Guys, I ended the podcast early.
Yeah, no, well, it's been a good run. See you guys next week.
Hey, next movie.
Next.
What is it? Figure it out. We should all watch a different movie.
I almost suggested that.
Yeah, we should all just watch a different movie and just give our synopsis on, or our opinion on it, and just.
I almost seriously considered that. I was like, I can't think of a movie. I was just like, you guys choose your own. We'll just meet back and then talk about the movies we chose. It defeats the layout of this show, but
a little bit. Maybe we can do that for the Halloween special.
Yeah.
Food for thought. Maybe. We'll discuss that later. But for right now, let's get right into the movie. Greedy, what'd you recommend?
Alright, so last week I recommend that we watch Encino Man, made in 1992. It was directed by Les Mayfield. Some writing credits are George Saloon, Sean Scheps, and that is it. Alright, a little synopsis of Encino Man. California teen Dave Morgan, played by Sean Austin, is digging a pit for a pool in his backyard when he happens to come upon a caveman frozen in a block of ice. Aided by his goofy friend Stoney, who's played by Pauly Shore, Dave transports their discovery to his garage, where the Neanderthal? I don't know that word. I can't.
Yeah, that was right.
Oh, good. Okay. Alright, thaws and is revived. When Dave and Stoney find the living and thoroughly bewildered caveman, they attempt to pass him off as a foreign exchange student named Link, played by the lovely and oh-so-handsome Brandon Fraser, resulting in many misadventures. I forgot to say the cast, so real quick, I said most of them in the synopsis. Sean Austin, played as Dave. Brendan Fraser, played as Caveman. Pauly Shore, Stoney Brown. And Megan Ward plays as Robin. And a bunch of other people that don't matter. So I wanted to start off the movie. Let's go right into the heart of it. I want to actually start off with the acting. I didn't care too much for the acting, to be honest. I was a little annoyed with Stoney and just his vibe he gave out. I was not for it. But I think Brendan Fraser, he did a good job. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, I think that the caveman role was. I think he was born for that role. He was such a good dumb.
I mean, he wasn't
caveman.
Born for the mummy role.
Well, he was born for all his roles. Every role that Brendan Fraser has ever played, he was born to play it.
Yes.
Destined by something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I will agree that
I thought
Link is the best part of this movie for sure, by far.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Pauly Shore, he had a lot of the stupid Pauly Shore stuff that, I think it's in his contract to be, his stupid howling and his dumb personality. Yes. But overall, his character actually was the second best character, Link being the first best. Then his character was the second best character. Everyone else was kind of unlikable in this movie.
Yeah, especially David.
David
felt-
was the
Yeah,
worst.
Dave.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
he
when
was
he
so,
when he was
like-
gonna leave Link, I was like, "Yep, I'm done with this guy. He
Yeah.
sucks. Fuck him." Like I
It's
Yeah.
like, oh, oh, I shouldn't say that.
So he was the worst.
Oh,
Like
yes.
the whole time I was watching this, I'm like, God, he's just an annoying, whiny kid who he's the stereotypical. Which unfortunately, a lot of '90s movies had these characters, but like the stereotypical, I am a nice guy, so I deserve sex.
That's true.
Well, actually, you are a jerk like that. It's like, well, actually, we'll give some features of the guy. It's very stereotypical.
I didn't understand why they kept calling them geeks because I didn't perceive them as geeks. They were just unpopular.
Yes.
It's
Well,
weird.
in the '90s, see, if you weren't popular, you were a geek or a nerd. Even if you didn't do geeky, nerdy stuff.
I would say he's more of a nerd than a geek, but that's just my opinion.
Well, I mean, they didn't really
He
show
was
him as
just a
being like
loser.
overly smart. Yeah, he was just kind
Yeah.
of like a loser who wasn't popular, and he wanted to be popular.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, he kind of, I don't know if he, I guess he kind of did get popular at the end.
Somehow. Like,
Somehow it all just worked out.
Somehow.
Yeah.
He was
That
the
was
one
another
character who
point
did.
I was
I did
gonna
not
bring
want him to have an ending because he just didn't deserve it. He didn't deserve anything
Yes.
that he got.
Nope, he didn't.
Yeah.
But he found him. Oh my god.
I wanted to talk about that. Like in the beginning, we said, "Oh, we found him. We're gonna give him money." Then 2 seconds later, it's like, "All right, you can tell no one about this." I'm like, "What? Wasn't this entire thing of following him out was for money?"
That is true. Like literally,
Well,
a second they changed their mind, or he
Yeah.
changed his
I
vibe.
think part of that is because they thought he was going to be dead, and the second he was alive, they were like, I mean, it still doesn't really make sense. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh shit, now we can't tell anyone because he's alive. It's like, isn't that more reason to tell everybody?
Yeah, tell museum.
Yeah,
They're like,
but
"Get
then- Next scene, he's literally telling that girl, Robin,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
you tell
he's
no
like,
one.
"Come over."
I'm actually going to tell
Yeah.
someone. Fuck you."
Yeah, he tells her because he wants some some
Yeah.
loving, and he thinks that's the way to do it. And showing pictures of them as children in a bathtub.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
the
so
creepiest thing ever.
He's like, we were naked at one point. I was like, what?
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, why does this scene exist? It's just like,
Why did any scene with David exist?
you got a point.
He was the worst.
Yes.
Yes.
What else is he in? Like, what else does Sean Astin play in?
I have no
I mean, he's done
idea.
lots of stuff. He was a Goonie. He was.
Isn't he
Sam.
Frodo?
Samwise?
Sam.
Sam.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
He
I was
was
like,
in
he's-
Rudy, which is
Alvin
a
and
football
the
movie
Chipmunks?
that people like.
The squeakquel.
He was Bob in Stranger Things season 2.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah.
He's very popular.
He's an
yeah.
actually good actor, but then they just he had just I guess hadn't done anything much since Goonies and Rudy. I guess it was around the same time as Rudy probably. And this I was like, hey, you want to play a whiny stupid kid that no one should like, but for some reason we're going to say he's the hero?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry guys, I'm just going to be ranting about his stupid character.
Yes,
No,
I can understand that.
It's understandable because he really was that bad of a character. Like, I know Nick, you said you didn't really like Stoney, but I thought Stoney was like 10 times better than David.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Stoney's was way better than David, but Stoney still had his little scenes,
Yeah.
too.
Like I said, Stoney wasn't perfect, and while I don't agree with a lot of Stoney's things he likes, I guess, whatever, I don't know how to say it. But, like his core beliefs of just like treat people like good, like people, and don't worry about being cool and stuff. It's like, yeah, that's kind of how I was in high school.
I thought it was gonna be like one of those like stereotypical like high school or I think he was in college or high school. I'm not sure exactly what he was in, but but he was but I thought it'd be like the one who like sells drugs or with old peace and stuff like that. That's what I thought his character was going at first, but I'm like, oh, he's not going down that route.
Yeah, I think it was low key trying to kind of be that way.
Yeah.
And
Then
in
they
fact,
changed
the
their
game
mind.
Well, no, it's just because like back in the '90s, they had
Yeah.
that. They kind of be so overtly with that stuff. So like
Hmm.
they were trying to hide it. His name was Stoney, probably
Yeah.
stoner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah.
And then they try to relate everything, like they try to rhyme everything with Stony, and it was just that was a little annoying. Like saying Link was from what was it?
Estonia.
Estonia. Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that like when he goes to the bar, he starts drinking with these Mexicans, and like suddenly they have just the like exact same personality as him, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
that's annoying, but he's still 10 times better than Dave.
Yep.
Yes, exactly.
But Link is the star of the show.
Yes.
Link is.
He's cool.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, I guess he's
Link
not
is
trying to
what-
be cool. He's just kind of
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he's a good-natured person by nature.
Yeah.
After you get past
Yeah, Brendan Fraser definitely carried this movie for me.
yeah. Well, I was looking at Brendan Fraser's other movies at the time, and he plays like almost the same character in a few movies where he's like a fish out of water.
Yeah.
Like there's one that was on Amazon where he was like trapped in a bunker for 30 years, and he was like a 30-year-old virgin.
Oh.
And he comes out of
Yeah,
the
I
bunker.
remember that one. Yeah, I remember that shit.
It looked
that movie.
ridiculous.
Oh, now Tay's gonna be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, there's my movie."
No, I wouldn't. It was one of the bad ones. I think I don't know. I never actually saw it, but I think it was just called Blast of the Past.
Yeah, I can't remember. But
and
he
was-
does
yeah,
have a track record for
George.
being that fish out of water guy, like George of the Jungle, that movie,
Yeah.
this movie. I guess he plays the role well. I've never seen that other one that I was talking about. I don't even remember, I don't even see it here on his IMDb. But I think that Link really kept this movie going, and it gave you some nice, genuine moments. I didn't feel like the movie was like overly funny. Like I did smile at a few points, but and when I did smile or even slightly laugh, it was because of a Link scene, which kept the movie entertaining for me at least. Because it was an entertaining movie, besides from David being David.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I wanted to, like, it's kind of in the ending, but I'm not gonna go like really far into the ending. It's like I'm just saying a part of the ending. Like when they were training him to fight, like it's a entire movie basically. I was waiting for that fight scene to happen. Like I don't know why it happened so late into the movie. Like
Chekhov's fight scene.
Yeah.
If you have a fighting montage, it will be paid off in the end. Don't worry.
Yeah, but it's
And it
just
was
like I hate.
a headbutt.
Yeah.
And a twirl.
And
Oh,
12.
yeah, and a Toro, because that hurts so much.
Well, I remember they were making that commentary on, oh, you don't learn violence. Violence comes to you or whatever. I think that was the whole point, because the bully came up and punched him in the face, and he just kind of walked away instead of fighting.
Yeah.
That was probably Tay's favorite scene.
Why was that
Dave getting punched.
No
Dave
gore.
getting
That's true. David getting punched was great both
Oh, that
times
was
it
good,
happened.
yeah.
Yes. It's like finally he gets punched. Deserves it.
So,
Sorry,
go ahead.
No,
No,
I was about
I
to
was
skip
gonna
to
change
the end.
subject.
Yeah, well, I was going to skip to the end.
Oh,
So you go first.
yeah, before we do that, I want to actually talk about the writing, because I felt like there was no storyline. I felt like this movie wasn't very well written. I felt like Link, the caveman, adapted to Earth very well, like very quickly, which I don't think would have happened. Which it makes for a shorter movie, which is all fine, but still, it was just like, it was just like all happened way too fast, in my opinion. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree.
Oh.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, like the movie goes from slapstick driving test type thing to bar in the a nightclub in the middle of town, and it just kind of goes like that. It's like it's super fast, and it doesn't make any sense. And you think that they're setting up for one thing, like they're like, oh, this is a spooky part of town. Then they just go inside this nightclub and drink, and then it's just. Everything just kind of works out for them. It's that writing trope where it's like, even though they're in this bad part of town, but they're the coolest guys in the bar, all because of Link.
Yeah.
Right. And just when the cops show up, and like the rest of those, why did they arrest them? Like Link,
Guess
I
they're
understand. I guess he stole the car, but why did Dave get
They're
arrested?
seniors, underage. They're seniors in high school. They're underage, I think.
Yeah, but
But
I
then
think
why
that's
would
more of a
everyone
fine than
else
be
in the bar
arrested.
running away? You know, why would everyone
Yeah.
run away if they were all
Yeah.
there legally, except for the two kids and the caveman?
the person who wrote this has no understanding of how things actually work in life. It's like, yeah, if a cop shows up at a bar, everyone runs. It's like a high school house party, right?
Yeah. Just like I thought, it's just like I would expect some people to win, may not everyone. Like I was expecting maybe Mexican people to win because maybe they made them make that joke or something, make a joke about that or something. But everyone winning was just so unbelievable.
Yeah, and it didn't seem like an underground establishment. You know, they just
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
walked into the place and that
Yeah,
was
big
it.
sign on the front too. It's
Yeah.
just like a bar, so it's not like hiding or anything.
But
Yeah.
continue off of that. I just like I don't like the Matt punched Dave, which he deserved, and then the girl breaks up with him, and all of a sudden she's with Link or not Link, Dave.
No, yeah,
It's
she
like-
she went with
Yeah.
Link for a little bit, and then she went to Dave, just so
Like,
Link could
but-
have his cave woman at the end.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I don't know. That just seems like it was unexplained. I don't know.
Mhm.
Maybe I missed it. Maybe
No,
I
it wasn't. It was just Dave's the nice guy, so everything works out for him in the end, even though he's a horrible person.
Yes.
And
And
also
this was
with,
a trope.
with like
The
Robin's friend too. She was all into Link like at the beginning, like
And then all of a sudden
especially-
dropped off.
Yeah, and she was just
Yeah.
gone after the ice rink scene. She was just gone for the rest of the movie until the end at the prom scene. And it's like,
Yeah.
Same with Dave's parents too.
yeah, true.
That was the last. I mean, that was a funny scene with the mustard and all that. But it was just like after that, it was like, okay, we don't need you. Go home now.
Yeah, same
Well,
thing with the
they talked about
sister, too.
parents were always busy,
Mhm.
you know, always missing out on things, so they were just constantly at work.
Yeah, but the scene that got me is like, it's funny you're not paying attention. It's like, not if your kid's banging on the glass, frantically yelling at you. Wouldn't you put down the phone?
You would think.
Yeah, think.
Nah, not in '92.
It's
Duh.
like- yeah. It's like, jeez.
Okay, anything else in the middle of the movie? I mean, it seems like we're already going to an end, but the movie's only an hour.
Yeah, it's not too long, so I guess that's why we are like really jumping into the middle.
Yeah, I don't know. There's really nothing else I want to say about the middle because there's really like I said before, it's just like it's not really a cohesive story. Nothing like really strings together very well.
Yeah.
But in the end, it's still kind of a fun movie because of Link. I know I keep saying that, but it's true. Like
Well, it's so true.
he's the only reason I kept. Well, I mean, I would have watched it to the end even if it was terrible. But he's like the one
Yeah.
reason why I was like, happy to watch it. Because it's like
Yeah.
he brings the fun in, which is obviously his character himself.
He
Yeah,
seemed to like be the only one to like put effort into his acting too. And maybe it was
No,
just because
that
of
was
the
Pauly
caveman.
Shore was on point for Pauly Shore acting. He's that character in like every movie he's ever been in.
I hated the noises he made with his, when he did the finger things.
Oh yeah,
that was
Yeah,
that was like some ASMR shit. I did not need to hear every like.
Yeah, I was wondering why that sound effect, because like that's not how the fingers would sound when
I thought he was making it with his mouth.
I'm not sure, like I'm not sure if it was the fingers or the mouse, but still, it was like, ugh. They use it so many times too, which
And
bugged me to hell.
And he also called himself the Weasel, and I don't know why that noise would come from Weasel.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just very strange.
Yes.
I was gonna say something. What was I gonna say? I guess we talk about that, like the scene in the museum. I guess that was supposed to be kind of the big heartfelt moment where they establish that they're all family, and then like almost immediately after, that's when Dave's like, "All right, get out of here, go."
Yeah. Well, I don't have a heart of ice or stone, so I did feel something at that moment. But
Yeah.
yes, it was very off-putting that literally immediately after, because Robin wants to go to the dance with Link, get out of here, family, fuck family. And then, of course, Stony
Yes,
and
exactly.
Link come back, and, it's like, oh, it's family again. But Act 2 needed its rising and falling action. It needed the low point so that the characters could have a high point. But it just happens, just like everything else in this movie, it just happened so fast. It
Yeah,
just felt really weird.
Well, Dave kicked Link out because she was dancing. He found out that she was into Link. Not
Well, yeah,
him,
because
so.
she invited him to dance and he didn't do it. If you're into a girl like that,
Yeah.
just do it.
Well, that's
advice for
high
Coco.
school drama, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is advice for Coco. Coco, don't be Dave.
Yeah, I know not to be Dave. Dave was supposed
Don't
to
bring
be Dave.
pictures of you as a child and the person you like as a
Oh,
child,
God.
and be like, we were
I'd be
naked.
very disturbed to have that. Though. I'm like, if I had that picture, I'm like, what am I going to do with this? This is like very.
Just keep it in the photo album.
Yes, never touch it again. I wanted to say something like it's not like too long. But beginning when he was falling, when he followed out, one that's going to take more than 20 minutes. I guess you would say it would take the fall out because those heaters are not that effective against ice that's probably been there for millions of years, not millions of thousands of years.
It would have probably taken weeks or months to thaw out like that.
Exactly. And plus, once he eventually did fall out, his body would probably been depleted since he had remained in a frozen state for like, I don't know, for millions, thousands of years. But when he came out, I was
yeah.
like, oh, I'm perfectly fine.
Yeah.
My question is, I guess since we're gonna kind of jump ahead to the end, and I kind of thought about this. So the female, his girlfriend, Link's girlfriend, shows up and thaws out. One, how did she thaw out?
You see, I thought it was because of the rain, the warm water mixing with the dirt, and
I thought maybe
An
because they filled
earthquake.
the pool with water. I guess, but
Or the rain filled bowl. I think
yeah,
that's
Was there
correct.
rain?
that's what I was thinking. It was the rain. It was during the at the low point in the movie when everything was dreary and David was staring out the window and crying.
I don't remember any rain because
Yeah, it was
he ran out
raining
to
when.
the car to go chase after what's his face, and there was no rain.
Yeah, and the rain was only there for one scene, and just
And the earthquake was
disappeared.
after he ran away or chased off what's his face, the bully, Matt.
Well, Dave was contemplating life and staring out the window, and
So we must have rain
there was
here.
rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can only guess that is how the cave woman got thawed out. And it is also interesting to note that she was in a bath with bubbles and toys and stuff like that.
Did that?
Yeah, who did that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like
She also had
I-
regular clothes on. I'm not sure if that was is she supposed to be I was wondering, is she actually a cave woman or is she just a girl over there?
No, that's a cave woman. She had regular clothes on after Stony and Link dressed her. When you see her, she's already in the bath the first time they see her, and then after the bath, they've clothed her because
yeah,
it's a PG movie.
I know. I was just saying, it's a little I think when she's there, she acts like totally normal, even though when he came out, he was freaking out.
Well, she made a fire and she smeared her boobs all over the windows. And
And she drew on the
jeez.
walls,
Yeah.
so she had her. We just didn't see her freak out moment, and maybe the sister Dave's sister put her in the tub. I don't know.
It's doubtful.
It is doubtful. The only thing we saw of her is that she was the only person who realized Dave was the worst.
Yeah.
Yes.
I also want to mention that the bully should be charged with breaking and entering.
Yes.
It's
Twice.
just one of those things. It's like, I know it's like a movie trope, but that's actually like a felony. to break in and steal something from someone's house. So
Also, he opened that window very easily. I mean, most windows lock from the inside. You have to push a thing to pop them open.
yeah,
but apparently this window is so easily opened, so the bullies have some advantage for him. And he also got into the school files very easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, just frustrates and everything. Didn't look like there's any security. So I'm just like, it's like, all right, so plot convenience. That's how we're gonna do it.
but in the end, I still like the bully better than David.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, he at least was true to himself.
Yeah.
Yes.
I liked his greaser style. He was like an old school greaser villain, in a '90s movie. Which, I mean, I guess you could say that Stoney was like an '80s hippie. So I guess there was like a few different time periods being represented in this movie. It had million years ago, whatever. Then it had '90s culture, '80s culture, and '80s. Did I say '80s?
You said 80s.
When were
You said
greasers?
80s,
Greasers were around in the '50s, right?
Yeah, 50s.
Yeah, '50s culture. There we go.
Yeah, I kept changing off with the movie.
I had something I want to mention, but then I forgot what it was. So, effing chat. Oh, the soundtrack.
Right now.
The soundtrack was great. I love the soundtrack in the movie. Lots of fun songs.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Beginning song. It was what was it? Was it Whitesnake?
Queen?
Not Whitesnake. No.
Oh, Queen was away in the beginning.
Or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part, all I noticed from the soundtrack is anytime they switched over to the quote unquote prehistoric music, and then obviously all the hit '90s song that I'm too sexy.
No, that was funny. I liked that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had Cheap Trick, Queen, Edgar Winter. I'm pretty sure. Wasn't Steve Vai in there as well? The Smithereens. Yeah, there was a lot of good oldie bands in there. So
We should have played it for a tiny bit longer, but it's fine.
it's like the Suicide Squad trailer. It's like there for a few seconds, then it's gone.
Yeah.
And people go, I know Bohemian Rhapsody, and then the Bohemian Rhapsody movie comes out, and they go, oh, this is my first time listening to Bohemian Rhapsody, and I'm crying. Hashtag Queen.
Yeah. It's like, ugh. I don't know. I can't really complain too much about them, not having it more. But it was a great soundtrack, though.
I mean, you can complain. It's your personal opinion.
Yeah.
If you want to complain about them not using the song long enough, go for it.
Yeah, but I also don't know the rules from 1982. Same movie rights.
Well, the movie was 1992, so
1992, sorry. But still, you know what I mean.
When this movie came out, I was 7 years old.
I was -1.
I wasn't born yet.
Yeah. Well, I remember seeing it either in theaters or shortly after, it went to TV or something, the year later or whatever. I remember enjoying it enough as a kid, just going, that was a fun movie. And now I'm like, God, Dave's the worst. This movie. Is this time ready to go into ratings? What we felt that?
Title's gonna be Film Freakz. Dave's the worst.
Yes.
All right, ready to go into our ratings?
Sure.
Anything else?
Yeah. I don't think I have anything else I want to say. If anyone else has anything.
No, not really.
Actually, I do want to say something, and I did get this off of Yemmy's little review. I read it before watching this or doing the podcast. Would you guys rather watch Weekend at Bernie's or Encino Man for the rest of your life?
Oh, the rest of your life? That's pretty hefty. Can we just do again?
Yeah, again.
Okay, again.
I'd watch
Or the whole
Weekend at Bernie's again.
Yeah, me too. I would have watched Weekend at Bernie's in
It
this
kind of has
movie.
the same concept. No, hiding someone.
Kinda.
Yeah, I mean,
It has some- it has
the one
some
guy's
similar
dead,
tendencies.
and this one's
One's alive, one's dead. Who cares?
I mean, personally, I liked,
Things.
I enjoyed this movie more, but if I wanted to go back for a laugh, I would definitely go to Weekend at Bernie's. Even though I thought, if I remember correctly from my review, I thought the first half of Weekend at Bernie's was pretty cringe, but the second half was relatively funny. Whereas this
Yes.
movie was just like, yeah, it had a few moments where I was like, kind of, I maybe laughed once, but it's not like overly funny. It's just kind of like an enjoyable movie. Whereas Weekend at
Yeah.
Bernie's is more funny to me. So I would probably
More
go
of a-
watch Weekend at Bernie's again. But like I said, I enjoyed watching this one more because there wasn't like a, first half slump like Weekend at Bernie's had.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think I'd rather watch Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah.
All right, Weekend at Bernie's 2. Tay's recommendation.
No, it is not my recommendation.
Good.
I have to figure out what we're watching though.
Alright,
That's good.
Alright, so recommendations. I will start since I recommended the movie.
You mean final
Reviews.
review and score?
Yeah. Final reviews. You know what I meant. You all got the memo. Alright, anyways.
Mine was written in French, so.
Alright, so I felt like there was no written story to this movie. There was no plot. Movie was very random. It was really short, which is not always a bad thing. I felt like the movie just like had no idea what it wanted to do. And Link, the acting, I didn't care for it too much. Link was great. Brendan Fraser, he's always a joyful one. He really carried the movie. Him doing his goofy things, the dinner table scene where he's squeezing the bottles and doesn't know what's going on, and overall it's just his silliness throughout the movie. He pulled it off very well. So cheers to Brendan Fraser if he's ever listening to this. But everything else, it brings it down for me. Dave, that's all I have to say is Dave. So my final opinion, I'm torn between a 2 and a 2.5. I'm gonna go with a 2. I'm gonna go 2 out of 5.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I don't think there's really anything else I can add to it. I think that my overall enjoyment of the movie was pretty high, but there were a lot of things that brought it down, like the writing and the scenes, like how they kind of didn't really mesh together too well. Like I said, there was no cohesion to the story at all. They really needed to show more of like Link learning how to do real world tasks. And like I wanted to see more of him in the school, because like they showed like him in a classroom here and there, and of course he stole the driving school car. Other than that, we didn't really see him do any antics during school time, and I think that could have been a funny part of the movie. You could have cut out maybe the bar scene or something like that. But yeah, I do agree. Link definitely carried this movie. I thought Stoney was all right, except for a few things that he did here and there. And then every other character was like either terrible like Dave or just kind of like meh, like most of everyone else. And he definitely did not deserve that ending kiss in the movie at all. But like I said, I still think I enjoyed this movie. And I would give it a 2.5 out of 5.
Then do a 2, huh?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I agree with pretty much everything Yemmy said and you've said, Nick. I don't think I have any other things to add to separate. Again, Dave's the worst. He definitely didn't deserve any of the stuff he got. Link was great. Stoney, I didn't mind for the most part. Kate, yeah, he had a few things. Again, just pretty much everything Yemmy just said. So yeah, I also give it a 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah, we have too much to add. I'm not sure we guys thought of the special effects of this movie, but I'm like, I don't think they spent much money on it. I think they tried to spend mostly on I can't remember the actor's name now. I had it in my head, but I didn't. But can't remember now. But well, yeah, the caveman actor, I should say. He probably spent most of the money on him to get this to respond. But yeah. But I'll have to give it 2 out of 5.
All right.
Okay, good.
I do have
We're
one
all
question
on
for you,
the
Coco, though.
same.
What special effects are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah,
When you-
there was none.
Well, the car was kind of like a special effect.
No, I mean,
When he
but
was the ice bulk when he was the ice bulk that he was in.
I mean, that was
more of a
ice.
prop. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a prop, not a special effect. And then the car thing was a stunt. Stunt drivers can do that to cars.
Well, yeah. I was thinking more
Uh,
like special effects, like practical effects and stuff like that.
I don't think there were any practical effects.
They didn't really need them.
Yeah,
true.
Makeup.
Would
and
you say that the ketchup and mustard were practical effects?
I don't know. It's hard to. I thought the frozen thing was practical effects. That's all.
Yeah. Just a prop.
Yeah, probably the car
Well,
scene
then,
probably
normal
cost the
practical
most
effects
money.
comment.
Yeah. Like that car scene was probably the thing that put them over budget, you know?
Yeah.
Stunt driver.
But still, my range still
This
stands.
movie definitely was a quick cash grab. You know, you probably made more off of spending on it, which I guess you can say for all movies, but
Yeah.
I mean, it was a family film. You know, it was geared towards 10 and 12-year-olds.
This movie made $40
Family
million
film.
in the box office.
How much?
$40 million.
40 million?
And had a budget of $7.5 million. That's
Yeah.
adjusted for inflation in 2009.
Yeah.
So
How much did they pay?
yeah, they got paid on this one, and it's crazy to me that they didn't do a sequel to it, because that's a lot of money to make.
Yes.
To not have a sequel.
And then they set it up. You knew they were going to.
Yeah.
They wanted to.
well, that brings up the talk. You know, got it talking.
Yeah, but this isn't the thing, you know. This is fucking Encino Man.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
well, I know, but
In 2016, there was a fake Encino Man 2 trailer released. So yeah.
All from footage of George of the Jungle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I also got 15% of Rotten Tomatoes. So.
yeah, Nick's talked about that last episode.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Tay has a recommendation for us today. What you got?
Do. It is a movie from 1999 called October Sky.
I've seen
It's
this.
the true story of Homer Hickman, a coal miner's son who was inspired by the first Sputnik launch to take up rocketry against his father's wishes. It stars Jake Gyllenhaal as Homer Hickman, Chris Cooper, Lauren Dern, Chris Owen, William Lee Scott, Chad Lindbergh. There's a lot. It keeps going. So that's some of them.
All right.
I say anything else? Oh, director Joe Johnston, and it was written by Homer Hickman Jr. and Lewis Kolek.
I remember getting shown this movie in school. I don't remember which class it was though, because it wasn't science class. I don't know.
I mean, it's based on a true story, so it could have been history.
Yeah, maybe.
I think I got shown in school too, but I very vaguely remember this movie.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will go ahead and watch that. If you don't want to be spoiled for October Sky, make sure you watch that before the next episode in 2 weeks. Where can you find it? It looks like Amazon, Vudu, Stars, and of course the regular DVD, Blu-ray, YouTube, Microsoft, and PlayStation Store. So yeah, we'll talk about that movie in 2 weeks. Also, don't forget that the fan vote is going to be attached to the next episode. We will announce the movies in the running at the beginning, and then during Coco's recommendation, the winner will be revealed. But until then, make sure you keep sending in your recommendations. If you want to change your recommendation, that's easy too. Just comment on the latest episode or contact one of us individually, and we can always change it if you want to. And yeah, good luck to all the people who entered in. All right, boys. Is there anything else that you want to say before we end the show?
Just in case no one was clear, Dave's the worst.
I was about to say Dave's the worst.
Dave's the worst.
Dave's the worst.
All right, well, this has been an episode of Film Freaks with a Z. I'm Yemmy the Ferret, and I've been here with...
Greedy Waffle.
Taymation.
Coco Gamer.
And we are, of course, Film Freaks. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Dang it, Dave.
Bye.
Dang it, Dave.
Dave. Which is sad. Like, I really like Sean Astin as an actor, but
Yes.
He got put into a really,
But in
really
this
shitty
role, his name was
Yeah.
Sean Astin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
All right,
I
and,
wasn't.
and podcast there. That's it.